And I know players typically don't like to talk about themselves, but if you can give us some insight into what has been working so well with you scoring in those past 2 games.
I don't know. I think it's just kind of the way things roll sometimes. I mean, last game's a broken play that their goalie kind of gets bumped, and then it's an open net for me. And the other one literally bounces in. So it just kind of happens. You're just trying to play the same way. You're trying to put yourself in good spots. And I mean, the first one I'm just trying to throw on net to create a kind of a messy puck that might create a rebound or a tough stop for their goalie, and it finds a way in. So it's things like that sometimes go your way, and sometimes it just creates bounces that create good things for your team as well.
And how quickly are you reading these situations to just be able to capitalize or even set up something for someone else?
I mean, you work in, game out, and trying to put yourself in good spots. Like when the rush is happening or the play's happening, you're trying to find the most dangerous spot to put yours in it, where you can, your teammates can use you, or you can just be, if you do get the puck, you're in a dangerous spot. So you're just trying to find areas like that, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
The defensemen in this group have really started to pick up on some of the score sheet. They're assisting 4 goals over this road trip from defensemen. What have you seen from the Blue Liners getting in on the action offensively on this trip?
I mean, we're just trying to play like that. I think we struggled a little bit offensively for a little while there in December, so we kind of tried to simplify, and net presence has been big for us lately. We've been putting a little bit of emphasis on that, and then when you have that, you're just trying to put pucks to the net and kind of simplify. We're a skilled group that can really make nice plays. Sometimes you just need to find ways to score that are a little bit grittier.
We had 3 games in 4 days for this Devils team, and then you get a day off. And I know, of course, it's important to have rest, but how important was that rest for you guys coming into practice today? What were the differences you saw?
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, it was a tough schedule with the back-to-back, and then travel, and then an afternoon game. That adds up quickly. So it was nice to have the day where you can just rest, recharge, just kind of hang out, and step away from the game for a day and just kind of recharge your battery. So it was nice today. We had a lot of pace in practice, just trying to move, get a sweat in, get the day. Sometimes the day off makes you a little tired, so then you kind of get it out of you, and then hopefully have good energy tomorrow.
I know we can debate the merits of plus minus and things, but you're like up to plus 30 or 31 right now, which is right up at the top of the league, which obviously just means you've been on the ice for a whole lot more goals scored than goals against. I assume that's got to be a number you're pretty proud of.
Yes and no. I mean, it's something that, I had this a few years ago where it was kind of a crazy year that I think it's definitely something that night in, night out, I want to be a plus player. You don't want to be scored against, and you're trying to be good defensively and trying to chip in offensively when you can. So it's, you're trying night in, night out to give your team the best chance to win, and that usually means trying to be a plus player. But for a big part of that is being on a good team as well. It's a big part of that is a team stat. I mean, usually the top guys in the league are on the top teams in the league, so there's something to be said for that. But definitely night in, night out, I think it's an important stat. But as the year goes along, it kind of just accumulates if you're on a good team, I think.
Damon, you've played a lot with Ryan this year, and the past 5 games he's on a career high point streak. What offensively is working for him so well as his D partner?
Just his D partner, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's playing well. He's skating, he's moving pucks, and he's being smart with every puck he gets in the stick. So it's no secret he's a solid player, and he gets relied on defensively a lot, but he still has an offensive talent as well. So it's impressive, and it's always great to see your partner do really well.
The Devils, last question for you, the Devils D-core. You guys have been scoring a lot more in 5-on-5 goals, second highest in the league. How much has the defenseman stepping up and scoring really helped impact and get more 5-on-5 goals for the Devils?
Yeah, you're right. Our top guys have produced a lot for us, and obviously we expect them to keep doing that, but any help they can get is obviously key, and if we can get that from the defensemen, guys like myself, Dougie, Gravy, anybody can chip in offensively. Even Siegs has got that sneaky shot there, and like you saw in Carolina and LA, so anytime we can help out and chip in offensively as well, we want to do that.
Thank you. Lindy, we saw Nate Bastian taking some line rushes with that BMW line. Is that a good sign for tomorrow, potentially a return?
Well, it's a possibility for sure. He's worked hard to get back to this point, and so tried to give him a regular look today and see how he felt.
We talked about the 3 games in 3.5 days and the importance of rest. How did you feel your team respond after a day off and the ability to have an actual practice on this road trip?
Yeah, it was good. We had one there before Anaheim, And to get them a day of rest yesterday and then, get a good 35 minutes in today, it was a tough stretch for us. We got through it. Now, we're looking to be a fresher team.
How do you manage that time? How do you manage that schedule? What goes into deciding, is it going to be a workout? Is it going to be on ice? What's going to be a practice day on a long road trip like this?
Well, one day is always dictated by, a union day off. When we play back-to-back, a lot of times the next day will be a day off. Some of it depends on how late the night gets, if we're traveling, when our ice time is the next day. The minutes some players play will dictate whether we make it optional for those guys. So there's lots of factors. Sometimes, there's players that aren't feeling that well or hadn't felt that well and played 2 games that you have to give them time off too.
Ryan Graves on his goal in San Jose, he really just kept pushing and trying to catch up with the 2-on-1 situation. What really is working with him so well offensively, particularly in that goal?
Well, just the fact that he joined, I think it was important to give us another option off that rush. If you look at, our defense being involved, it's been a big part of our game.
And what has worked with those defensemen joining in offensively?
Well, a couple times they finished, so I think that's the big part. I mean, it's one thing to join. Mm-hmm. It's another thing just to put in the back of the net.
You're talking about more of their shots being on target. Have you felt that has contributed as well?
I think it's been better. I think weeks ago we were talking about, the fact we're missing net too many times on good opportunities. And I think the fact that we're getting, more pucks that are hitting the goaltender gives you better second opportunities.
When you look at this Seattle group, obviously they've lost a couple in a row, but had won 7-8 straight before that. What have they been doing well? Like, what's their biggest strength?
Well, I think the biggest strength is their shooting percentage is really high, that they don't need a lot of opportunities. They seem to finish their good opportunities. I think this game will be the toughest game of the trip for us, just with the way they're playing. And I know they lost the last couple, but if you look at previous to that, the team had really played well. They play hard. They play the game the right way, and there's a reason you win that number of games in a row.
When you have the limited number of practices like you were talking about, how do you prioritize what you can fit in 35 minutes as you're trying to figure out like what the focal point should be?
Some of it was based off of some of the opportunities we gave up last game. Just making sure we all get on the same page if we're under a lot of pressure, where the outs are going to be. So a couple of those drills today were, playing in tight situations and making sure we get pucks in behind people.
What have you seen from the 5-on-5 play? In the last 5 games, you've only allowed 4 5-on-5 play goals. It's less than a goal a game. What have you seen better in the 5-on-5 play, even strength?
Well, I think, again, we practice that part of it every day. I mean, the one drill today, again, was just to keep practicing 5-on-5 play, so we limit the amount of mistakes we make. Part of that is goaltenders are giving us big saves at key times. There's a combination of a lot of things that go into a fact that maybe a lot of 5-on-5 goals haven't gone in.